live. I forgot to move the mic over to me. Hold on. There we go. Hello everyone and welcome back to Drawing and Chatting with Lynn. Although, give me a second because it looks like the art isn't there and the music isn't there. That's a problem. Let's fix that immediately. Put some music on. What are we gonna listen to today? Let us see. Maybe I put on one of them top Zelda playlists again. Top Zelda OSTs. Top 100 Legend of Zelda songs of all time. Okay. Oh, it's the same guy. I think I've already ranked this guy's songs. Hold on. We gotta find another one. We gotta find a new list of top 100 Legend of Zelda songs so that I can rank them again. Top Zelda songs. Go. I also made the wonderful decision of eating a spicy corn on the cob right before stream, so I may cough a little. Oh hey, this one, okay. This one says Top 50 Best Zelda Music by Zelda de Hyrule. Alright, let's go. This one says, my goal was to mix a few iconic classics with many lesser known or underrated tracks that you truly love. Okay, fair enough. This is kind of loud already, isn't it? Starting off intense. A little... Okay, you know what? Are we gonna... This one may or may not continually have pretty intense songs in it, but let's go. We're starting off with Koloktos, I think? Yeah. The Koloktos theme. Yep, this is the one. Is this... I wouldn't put this in a top 50, I think. I don't even think this would make a top 50 for me, but hey, whatever. It's top 50. I can't really be mad at them for, like, things in the number 50 spot. Yeah, starting off intense to get the blood pumping and the party starting. Woo! Yeah, meanwhile, I'm gonna probably keep working on this thing. Oh god, not Koloktos. I kinda liked Koloktos as a boss in Skyward Sword. Pretty fun boss. It's the one with all the arms, for the people who may have forgotten. It's got a bunch of arms in it. Ultra General Grievous. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that guy also has a bunch of arms. Oh man. Okay, I do kinda like this part. Fine. It's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit, maybe. Tell me if this is the right amount of volume. Yeah, for something as hype as this, we can't go any higher, can we? He was fun, but you keep dying. Oh no! Understandable. Okay, so I have a few things to decide with this drawing, one of which is, what brush am I gonna use for the lines? I haven't really made my decision yet. Maybe I'm gonna try like the kind of sketchier lines first and then... Okay, that just kind of looks bad, I think. Yeah. Let's not stick with that. Let's go back to the cleaner lines. Didn't hate the fight, but then again you fought him on Switch with a Pro Controller. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I forgot they made like a Skyward Sword HD. Was it good? For the people who actually played it? I played the original, but I played it on emulator, so I guess I got neither experience there. I didn't get the proper Skyward Sword Wii experience, but I also didn't get the Switch experience. I got my own jank experience. Oh man. It was fun. With my particular setup, something went wrong, and every time I aimed the arrow at all, I had to aim like a good, maybe like half the screen to the left and half the screen up from where I was actually aiming, and then it would work. Oh, this is a good one! This is a good choice. This is actually a really underrated choice. Damn. I'm already impressed by this person's list because they've put in Burns' theme from Spirit Tracks on here. Let's go. Should I do black, actually? Maybe I should do the usual kind of like dark red color that I've been using on these. Interesting. This art is gonna be sick, but are there any? Oh no! Okay, so yo, welcome back, Legendary Axe. But also, there has been a recent trend with people trying to keep a combo going. It's okay, guys. You can forgive Legendary Axe. Legendary Axe has been around in the stream for a while. Oh no. It's okay, it's okay. By breaking the combo, you've also freed everybody up to use the gacha summoning system again, so you've got that going for you. Yeah, I forgot if you were around when I wrote the gacha system. There's a gacha system now for people who may or may not have been there. Also, are any of them holding axes? I actually don't think they are. The closest to an axe is probably Phantom's greatsword. It's like this thing over here. Yeah, no axe wielders. No axe wielding Zeldas. It's kind of sad, actually. A lot of them have swords. Longest I've seen? No, they got to over 60 once. Yeah, Mob is right. But only once. I think the second longest is this one. Like, I think it was like over 60 one time, and then... You will make the streak work, alright. Yeah, the record was like 64. This is correct. Brilliant. Anyways, how have people been today? This fine evening? No axes, how will they counter spears? It's okay, nobody uses spears either. Everybody uses swords. These guys are playing FE4. For context, in Fire Emblem 4, swords are just the best weapon. They don't have 2 range, I guess. Wait, some swords have 2 range. Ethelin's sword has 2 range. Never mind, swords are just the best weapon. Because all other weapons are so heavy that it's like, you get a speed penalty for using them and you can't double. Yeah, all the Zeldas are so smart that they're using swords. Oh yeah, Fire Emblem 4 is Sigurd's game, Genealogy of the Holy War. Genealogy of the Holy War. Zeldas do tend to use swords, bows, and magic. How would those stack up for their own? So actually, I've been thinking about this because I specifically made, so I have like a whole list of powers for the Zeldas. I think once I finish the first, like, chapter, once I finish the Founder's Call, I'm gonna like immediately transition to working on like a proper, like power cards for all the Zeldas. I think that would be really cool because I have that list myself and I've obviously been referring to it to make sure that I stay consistent with everybody's abilities and items and such. But yeah, when I do that, then I can go through and I can figure out what gets countered by what. The one everyone puts on a pedestal because they haven't actually played it and can pretend it's really good. True. Oh gosh. True, but I'm playing it now actually, Legendary, so I'll have you know that I can now say with some level of certainty that the game is actually really good and everybody wasn't lying, holy shit. Like, I'm genuinely surprised by this, actually. I expected to come into, like, FE4 and be like, yeah, you guys are just biased because you played the game in 1996 or whatever. But no, it turns out they're kind of right. Number 48, theme, Hytopia from Triforce Heroes. Okay. This list is respectable. I'm kind of like, I'm in favor of this list. OP knew what they were doing. For context, we're listening to Zelda de Hyrule's Top 50 Best Zelda Music playlist from 9 months ago. And they claim to mix in a few iconic classics with many lesser-known or underrated tracks that they truly love and believe deserve more recognition. And you know what? I can get behind that, so, you know. Magic greater than all. So actually, there have been Fire Emblem games with weapon triangles that involve the bows. So technically, I think in like 3 Hopes and maybe some other games, it was like gauntlets, bows, and magic? Yeah, gauntlets, bows, magic. And I think it was like gauntlets beat bows, bows beat magic, magic beats gauntlets, I think, maybe? Could be wrong about that, but hey. put the volume up a little bit. Oh yeah, gauntlets. Yeah. Gauntlets have been a thing since, since only Three Houses, I guess. But Three Houses is so popular that I forgot that that's a game that maybe people have not potentially played. Okay. It's our Tetra face. I'm gonna maybe remove the eyes. Sounds a bit creepy, but you know what I mean. Okay, maybe you don't. It's fine. I'll leave it sounding creepy. We're removing people's eyeballs, folks. It's all part of the plan. Oh, we have this discussion. Ooh, gauntlets. Gauntlets means huge pecs, which absorb magic. But they make a big target, so weak to arrows. I can believe it. This is canon now. Ah, shit, I messed up. Hold on. No, what? Ah! Okay, there we go. Whee. 47, Attack on Vana Boris. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't put this one in here. Still respectable. Breath of the Wild does need to have some representation. We can't not allow breath. Forgot the mouse. Oh no. Here. Okay. Good. This one. This one? There we go. Didn't Fates have gauntlets? No, no way. Did they? There's no way. They introduced a bunch of things in Fates, but gauntlets was not one of them, I think. Nah. Need to replay Conquest? I mean, you can if you want to, but Okay, look, no, Fates is a decent game. I won't fall in line with the Fates hating. Fates is alright. Sure, the story is whack, but like, if I love Engage despite the story being whack, then I can admit that Fates is like a pretty decent game. I enjoyed it. Alright, fine, I admit it. I enjoyed Fates. What you gonna do? No, I'm kidding. Oh, let's go! Ocean King's theme, Phantom Hourglass. This deserves like top 10, honestly. I wouldn't put this in 46. I would put this all the way up at the top, but I am very, very biased. Phantom Hourglass is the first game I ever finished. And it was the only game I owned for 2 whole years. I know it very well. Quotes from Lynn. We are stealing people's eyes. It's all according to plan. Shh, don't tell the Sharingan owners. They're gonna start defending, and then what'll we do? Oh shit. That's actually kind of creepy. This is fine. This is fine. Actually, what if I do this? Oh. Delightfully devilish. Saw people shipping the Ocean King and Wynn's grandma. Wait, that's actually really wholesome. Yeah, whoa. Wait, I love that. I actually really love that, damn. It's kind of cute. Especially considering my specific headcanon for... Oh gosh, wait, hold on. My sweater fell off my chair. Hold on, I'm gonna just like put it... Okay, frick. Yeah, my specific headcanon for Wisdomverse, which is actually supported by canon, as many of my headcanons are. But yeah, because the Anuki race and the Goron race that are only present in the Dream World in Phantom Hourglass, they show up in Spirit Tracks 100 years later, which seems to indicate to me that the Ocean King did something. And I personally think that taking it as a sort of corollary to Linebeck's wish, he kind of like made the world real. Which works really well with him just kind of like... I think he used all his magic power to do that, like the last of the abilities that he got from being a god. And he just turned his whole world into, like, merged it with reality. And then he probably just lived out the rest of his life on Windfall Island, which is kind of cute. That is wholesome. Very wholesome. Yeah, Fates had so much new stuff. You should have seen people react back in the day when they announced that they were getting rid of weapon durability. Everyone was like, no! What? Swords don't break! What are you talking about? I was kinda glad, actually. Oh, and speaking of getting rid of weapon durability, it seems as if based on all current indications, the new game, Fortune's Weave, which I, of course, will be playing on stream, But yeah, I think they're getting rid of weapon durability in that one too. It seems that weapon durability is only going to be applicable for maybe combat arts. And otherwise, you're gonna maybe be able to use weapons freely? Could be kind of cool. A little sad to get rid of the method of grinding we all used in Three Houses, though. A lot of folks who wanted to grind. Not me. I don't like grinding, but... yeah, I mean, I guess I probably did this every now and then just to, like, get to a class I really wanted. But yeah, a proper, normal method of grinding was to use broken weapons in Fire Emblem Three Houses, which we probably won't be able to do if they got rid of it in Fortune's Weave. Damn, it's kind of hot in here. It's unfortunate. Global warming really be doing a number on us. Anyone in, like... oh yeah, I think, like, France or something? Had, like, a heat wave, maybe? I was hearing about that online. It's very unfortunate. Shout out to all folks. Stay hydrated. On one hand, you hate weapon durability. On the other hand, Fire Emblem only has so many mechanics in the first place. I like terrain. I love the weapon triangle, to be honest. I would like a, more emphasized version of the weapon triangle at the expense of weapon durability. I would be okay with that. Hydrate or dihydrate? True. Don't dry out. Okay, there we go. Back to drawing eyeballs. Weapon triangle only exists in Elios. That's kind of true. The weapon triangle has been pretty effective in FE4, though, I will say. So that's nice. You'd ask who I'm going for, but you know it's Leda. Yeah. I mean, like, she's so cool. Yeah, I really want to know what's up with her, but yeah, she's basically a combination of Primrose and... well, it's just Primrose. Primrose and me. Hello, Leda. What you up to? How do you pronounce your name? I don't know. Most of Europe was under a heat dome for a while. Oh no. A lot of Europe doesn't have air conditioners. Oh no. Heck indeed. I'm wishing many cool summer breezes to all of y'all Europeans. I am not in the Europes, so I cannot comment on this. Oh, this is one of the temple areas in, like, Skyward Sword? Temple Spring SS. Okay. Yeah. Good choice, good choice. Insist cooking the absolutely perfect Lynn targeted protagonist character. She's brown, she's a girl, she's a singer, let's go! Make her a tactician and I'm yours. But I mean, okay, hey, that said, I don't know, like maybe I'm gonna play her story and she's gonna turn out to be like a Dimitri type and I'm gonna be like, no, don't do it. It's very possible that I'll end up picking somebody different to consider my favorite later, but yeah, I mean, yeah, right, from the beginning I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Not that I specifically need brown characters or anything, but like, take a look at all of Fire Emblem, okay? And tell me what brown girls exist. I can tell you a whole list, because I can, like, it's very difficult. This Flavia, right? Is it only playable? Are we only counting playable characters, or are we counting story-relevant characters? There's Fiona. Is Fiona the first brown girl to show up in all of Fire Emblem? Fiona from FE9, or sorry, FE10? I think she might be. Brown people started existing in Tellius? Is that true? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, this is 100% true, yeah. Fortune's Weave has more brown characters in it than the entire rest of the franchise. It's genuinely very confusing to me. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? For context, I really like cosplaying people. But it's very difficult for me to cosplay someone because when I cosplay, I want it to be accurate. And I am a young, small, okay, maybe not young anymore, gosh, but I'm like a small brown girl, as you can clearly see. So yeah, I'm hoping if they... The one thing I don't like about Leida's character is that they're definitely going for like the sexualization route, and I'm like, ugh, fine, whatever. Like they did it with Primrose well, but like I really hate how Leida's design has like one tit sticking out. It's so ugly, like please just remove that. Dress normally on the battlefield, dress provocatively when you want people to go for you, like that's... But I mean, to be fair, I didn't care that Primrose's design was like that, so I really can't actually say anything about it. Durability might be interesting in a game that focuses more heavily on resource management. That's true. I would say that, to me at least, durability kind of brings the entire series a little bit more towards grand strategy instead of tactics. It's the difference between, for example, like... Tactics Ogre Reborn and like Triangle Strategy, I guess. I feel like certain things make the game less difficult and just more like exhausting, I guess. And weapon durability isn't one of those, but it has the chance to become one of those, and so that's why I'm kind of wary of it. I don't mind a game with weapon durability, I also don't think it's like super necessary. But yeah, resource management has just never been like a thing that I care about too much, so I'm okay to get rid of it. Yeah, no, brown girls so far, alright? There's Almeida, who's not playable. Fiona, who is widely known to be the worst cavalier in, like, all of Tellius. And there's, like, 70 playable characters in Tellius, okay? So, like, that's low. There's Athena from, FE12, which is not only a game that only exists in Japan, she's also, like, a very minor character in it. And then finally, like, the first playable and properly plot-relevant character is Flavia, who is also, like, only recruitable right at the end. But she does have, like, a role in the story, so that's kind of cool. And then Petra, of course. Petra's cool, like, don't get me wrong, I really liked Petra. And then Timera, I think, rounds out our set, and that's basically it, isn't it? Am I missing anyone? I genuinely don't think I am. I even counted Almeida. I'm probably missing someone, to be honest. There's, like, what, 700 Fire Emblem characters? I actually don't recognize this song. What is this? Oh. Divine Beast Varudanya from Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. Sounds nice, actually. Holy shit. Have I been, like, not giving Breath of the Wild credit for... Well... Oh no. This is a problem. But yeah, no, in general, like, across all series, I really don't care. Race, gender representation, sure, you do what you want, you know what I mean? But like specifically in Fire Emblem, specifically for the case of cosplaying, it would be nice to have a character who looked like me. That would be cool. Theodora really intrigues you? Okay, yeah. She is wearing a chainmail bikini, this is true, yes. But yeah, I will admit that both Leida and Theodora are definitely written as strong female characters so far, from what we know of them. I will give them a pass on that. Like, they didn't go with, like, the kind of, like, easy route, I guess. Yeah, it is true that I actually didn't even notice Theodora wasn't, like, you know, wearing proper armor until I really took a look at her design and I'm like, wait, this girl is wearing nothing, what? Since when? Actually, by that logic, does Pan count as a brown girl? Pan has brown skin. I'm adding her to the list. There, now we've got like 7 brown girls. That's 1 out of 100. Let's go! Woo! Yeah, anyone else have a favorite among the 4 choosable characters now? They've been releasing more information about each of the characters so far, too, for the people who are into Fortune's Weave. Oh, I know this. This is Papuchia Village from Spirit Tracks. Good theme, good theme. I've heard that so far the overwhelming favorite is Leda. And I think, I want to say Dietrich is next. And then in one of the polls I saw, actually Kai was third, but in most of them he's last. And Theodora is usually third, but in one time she was last. You hope Kai's dad isn't Leda's foe. I kind of hope Kai's dad is Leda's foe. I want to see them interact. I think the one thing that Engage was like really sorely missing is just people being mad at each other. Like, it's a really easy mistake for people to make. But like, yeah, you gotta have like people kind of like hating each other sometimes. Like, that's just how the world works. Like, it's a bit odd that Ivy's father essentially like resurrects Alchrist and Diamant's father as a zombie and then forces him to like fight them, and they kind of forgive him like immediately. They do have a few supports about it, and I guess those supports were kind of decently well written, but like there definitely could have been more there in the story. Like, I'm talking like in the actual story. I am unsurprised that you will choose Theodora Legendary Axe. Unsurprised. For the people who are on Reddit, there is a character that people have been calling Pirate Waluigi. He kind of looks vaguely like... He doesn't really look like Waluigi, to be honest, but like the pirate bit, yeah, definitely. She does definitely dance. There was a bit in the trailer with her dancing. It's not just a euphemism. It might also be a euphemism, but it's not just. Yeah, Pirate Waluigi and Brazilian Miku. Oh, and don't forget Purple Lewin. We have a name for Purple Lewin now. His name is Sirocco. Yeah, I will admit that I'm fond of a good bard twink. So if Sirocco looks cool, I will probably be using him. I don't think I have a choice, actually. He's in Leda's army. Agree that more people should be mad at each other, but you also want Leda to be like giving to your anger to Kai. Okay, fair. Fair point. She's just casually like the devil on his shoulder. I think I said Phantom's eyes were gray, maybe? That sounds right to me. But she also has blue eyeshadow. I wonder if I can make that look good here. Maybe not. No, yeah, they're letting the hunks in now, yeah. You gotta realize that, like, the hunks are the more popular ones. Like, that's just how the world works. And, like, hey, I don't blame them. But, like, the twinks, though. Are Phantom's eyes light blue and Spirits are gray? I keep forgetting. Hold on. I need to look this up. I may have switched it around at some point and, like, just confused myself over it. You looked at my chibis, thank you, I appreciate. Wait, hold on, which version of my chibis did you look at? Did I change it afterwards? I don't think I did. I think you're probably right, thank you. The chibis are the most recent designs for pretty much everybody. Wait, no, I'm not logged into Tumblr. Goddamn. Okay, alright, I can't look it up. Oh wait, I can look it up. Wisdomverse. Wisdomverse Phantom. Welcome. It's me. Okay, looking at them chibis. Oh heck, I made them gray in the most recent chibis. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, wait. Look at my design details. That's what I'll do. Oh yeah, they're gray in the design details too. That means I fricked up the chibis. That's on me. I do keep swapping them. I have to check it every time. Oh no! Okay, alright, hold on. I'm going back to the chibis. Back to the chibis. Quick guide. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, they're blue in the chibis. No! I keep swapping them. I really gotta make this... Okay, I gotta decide. Once and for all. Okay, what were they like in, like, the really detailed design I did at the beginning of Great Sea Crew? Great Sea Crew Extras Start Part 2. Okay, they're gray here. And then were they gray in the second one? Okay, they are gray in the second one. It looks like only in the chibis I made them blue, and in everything else I made them gray. So I'm gonna stick to gray, and I'm gonna fix the chibi. Thank you for letting me know, Mob. Oh gosh. Give her in spirit heterochromia. I'd do it. I'd hecking do it. I would. It would be rather conspicuous to have both characters with heterochromia. Reverse them so one's left is the same as the other's right. That would just make it even more confusing. They swapped eyes. There's genuinely a character that does that. Anyone else here read Holic? It's a really good manga. Pretty decent anime too, although, you know, animation standards. Yeah, the two characters in Holic, one guy sacrifices his eye to save the other guy, and the other one is like, dude, why would you do that? Like, value yourself a little bit more. Like, I did not ask you to do this for me. I could have found a solution myself. But he really does value the act, of course. He just wants the other guy to care more about himself, and so he gives part of his own right eye to the first guy who is now missing an eye. So they essentially both share, like, a right eye. And then while that's happening, another guy who's sort of the alternate universe version of the first guy gets his eye eaten by, like, a separate guy because he ripped out his other eye, like, a while ago, and he, like, stuck it in his clone. So then... So then this, like, wizard who stores all his magic power in his eyes has his eye eaten by, like, the clone guy who originally had the first guy's eye. That's not how eyes work. Is this the plot to Naruto? Genuinely pretty close, NGL. I've also read Naruto and can confirm that, yeah, it works. This one isn't as good for some reason. Why? What happened to it? Sharing an eye. Like, half an eye. Yeah. But, like, how this manifests physically is that the eye is just kind of a little bit faded. They can do that because magic is real. Nah, they don't need to pass the eye around. They just kind of, like, have, like, a faded eye, both of them. Which is unfortunate for the guy who, like, does the sacrificing. Because he's the captain of the archery team in his school. But, like, by that point, these sorts of things are no longer important. Wait, they're genuinely not gruesome animes. These are, like, pretty wholesome shonen. Actually, no, I don't know if I can call Clamp wholesome. Clamp makes horror stories specifically for optometrists. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Which one passes an eye around then? There's like a good 5 people trading eyes in the entire combination of Holic and Reservoir Chronicles, which are both kind of like sister stories. Oh, so like for people who know like Secrets We Keep and Wielders of Wisdom, I definitely was inspired by the way that Reservoir Chronicles and Holic work. They're both sister stories that sort of take place in the same universe, but one follows a group of people who are like jumping between universes, and the other one follows a group of people that are in one place doing a completely different thing. Mob, I don't know what that is. What is that? Clamp made blood. They are not wholesome. Wait, what's blood? I thought I knew everything by Clamp. I thought I knew everything by Clamp. Okay, this is this layer. This is this layer. Okay, good. We moved the eye. What is this song and why is it so creepy? Sky Keep, Skyward Sword. Huh, fair enough. The Gorgon sisters that Perseus killed, the only famous one is Medusa. Oh yeah. They do pass an eye around, don't they? Sounds about right. You do not need to know what an elder baron is. Now I'm gonna look that up. I was unaware that there were Clamp stories I was potentially... Is this a Clamp thing? I thought I had read everything by Clamp. Maybe this. Still think something is off about Lullaby's eye. And move the whole thing back a little. Okay, this'll do. Got an axe user first gold. That's true. That's true. The gotcha knows. Why are there so many trios of sisters in Greek myths? I don't know, I feel like 3 characters though is just a fun number of characters to write. I will admit. I will admit. Oh, there's a wolf howl in this one. It must be from Twilight Princess. Yep, it is. Title theme. Oh, really? This is the title theme of Twilight Princess? Oh, I emulated it. Of course I didn't hear the title theme. I mean, I heard it once, I assume. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I know this song, but what is it from? Damn, I have no idea. Oh, I forgot the eyebrows on Lullaby. Whoops. Surprised anyone sat on the title screen long enough for it to leave an impression. Okay, to be fair, I sat on the title screen of Wind Waker enough for it to leave an impression, but also to be fair, the title screen song of Wind Waker is also the song that you end up learning in the game. So it is, like, important. Also, I feel like people usually don't sit on the title screen, they just kind of listen to, like, the full OST of the game, and then they go, oh, this one sounds nice, and then, you know. Leave title screens on all the time while you go make your gaming snacks. Oh, interesting. I feel like I don't usually do that, yeah. Apparently this is Riverside from Triforce Heroes. Oh wow, it doesn't have the feel of a Triforce Heroes song. This doesn't look right. Are ghosts silent and the friendly moblins aware of each other, or are they completely unrelated? Oh, I feel like they're probably unrelated. But it can be up to you, I don't really mind either way. I personally like to think that the friendly moblins switched sides because they saw Dawn and they were kind of like... They were like, yo, what? Like, damn, I know she's like, you know, Zelda, princess, whatever, whatever, kidnap, kill. But like, we don't have to go that hard on her. They saw Dawn being essentially psychologically tortured for a year and they were moved to pity. Progressing at the speed of lightning. Oh, were you the one who likes bulldog moblins? Huh. I remember that. My favorite type of the like bokoblin moblin style thing is the ones from like Phantom Hourglass. Where they're like these little like thin pointy creatures. I like that. Watch those get updated to the modern style. Yeah, I guess we can't trust anything in this cold, cruel world. Yeah, I do genuinely think Silent just starts getting unexpected helpers, yeah. Like, I don't even think the Moblins can see Silent. I think Silent just takes up residence in caves that Moblins are not in. And then he charges Hyrule money for breaking doors. I will admit, I made my my full review of all Zelda games earlier, and in that game I ranked Ocarina of Time pretty low despite its iconic status, purely because I was like, look, I think I'm gonna rate all these games exactly the way that I think they hold up to this day, and there are other games now that do everything that Ocarina did but better. So there's kind of no need to play Ocarina anymore. So by that logic, I actually think it's a good decision for Nintendo to remake Ocarina of Time. I think it's the game in the Zelda series that most feels outdated, if that makes sense. Like, I think nothing beats what Majora's Mask did, and nothing beats what, like, ALTTP did, and Link's Awakening is, first of all, has been remade, and secondly, like, it stands the test of time with just purely its story. Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 have actually intriguing new gameplay styles that even I, as a Zelda veteran, was unused to. Like the way the Master Sword mechanic, I mean, it's not the actual Master Sword, but the mechanic that usually you only get at the beginning of, or sorry, at the end of the game, is really cool at the beginning of the game here, where you're forced to like stay around full health or else suffer in Zelda 1. And then Zelda 2's remarkably simple input combat system is surprisingly intricate when you really look at it. So, and AOL is special. No, like I genuinely gotta give it some props. It was a really fun game to play. But yeah, it was really freaking hard. Goddamn, one of the hardest games ever. They made bank with the 5th Star Fox. Oh, is that out? Is anyone playing Star Fox new thing? I don't even know the name. Good advice, Ganon wanted an who's good? What is good advice? Is that like a YouTube guy or something? Wanted an AOL remake over OOT. Oh no, I actually disagree. I think Adventure of Link holds up pretty well. I think what they need is less of a remake and more of like a quick remaster. And I believe that already exists. I think some fans have made it. Tumblr guy? Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I disagree a little bit with that. I think AOL holds up surprisingly well as long as you play it with save states. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, this is true. Adventure of Link was not only maligned when it came out, it was also maligned for like the next few decades. Can confirm because I was always told, as like a mid-old school Zelda fan, like, I'm not super old school, I wasn't around when, like, Zelda 1 was coming out. But from when I began really entering the Zelda fandom, I was always told, oh yeah, Zelda 2, don't play Zelda 2, 'tis a black sheep of the family. 'Tis terrible and horrible, and it will corrupt your soul. And I was like, really? Okay, I guess. I finally played it now, of course, and it's great, so, you know. Yeah, essentially, I think that Ocarina of Time is the game that I think even the gameplay needs a remaking. Like, that's the problem. The other games can kind of make do with a remaster because the gameplay was fun. Ocarina of Time, I remember thinking, because I played it after playing like a lot of other games, I was like, look, this is nothing too revolutionary now. It was obviously revolutionary for its time, but it is no longer so. So I hope they do that. I hope they change the gameplay when they do this remake. Otherwise, it's gonna feel very samey, I think. ALTTP could use a remake. I don't think it would be necessary, though. The game is already so good. Like, there's nothing they could change that would make it worth their while. Something looks odd about Phantom's eyes. What is it? Maybe it's this thing being higher than the other one? What perfect timing! This is the final song of Spirit Tracks. Phantom's duet with Spirit. Man, I love this song. Just jamming, don't mind me. Feels better, but maybe something is still wrong. I'll keep it for now. Save states make the game feel less painful, yeah. Same thing for Zelda 1. Like, both games are really good, don't get me wrong, but you need save states in this modern day and age. Regular old gaming chumps like me, we can't be playing whole games like this. I mean, in a way, Ocarina of Time probably was something of a launch title. Even though it came out late, it probably launched the N64 for any Zelda fan, right? Like, I would have assumed. Obviously, I wasn't around back then, but wasn't in the gaming sphere, at least, back then. I got into video games relatively late in life, I think, compared to some people here. It wasn't ever something that I was, like, encouraged to do. Like, I didn't have any people around me who were playing video games. I was pretty much the only person doing it the entire time. So I'd, like, save up, and I'd go and get me something, and I'd be like, whoa. Which I think has, like, led to my main principle today, where if I start a video game, I almost always finish it before moving on to the next one. Because, like, back in the day, you know, I'm not gonna be buying a game and not finishing it. That would be such a waste of money. Nowadays, it's a lot more acceptable, I think. Games cost less in terms of, like, value, I think, than they used to, it feels like to me. Like, you can get more out of a game than you used to be able to. For the same price. For the same relative price. Yeah, I did only have... I think I said that earlier in the stream, too. Yeah, I did only have Phantom Hourglass for 2 years. No guides, either, by the way. None of that internet nonsense. Just me and my Phantom Hourglass DS. If I got stuck, that was it. And Phantom Hourglass isn't too difficult, though. I think I did manage to... I think I have no context on whether I 100%ed it or not. Because I never had anything to really chuck against, but I feel like I probably 100%ed it. To this day, I feel like I know the island pretty well, even though it's been 20 years since I last touched the game. Like, if I had to draw out a map of every Zelda game, obviously the ones I've played more recently I'd probably have, like, better odds at, but Phantom Hourglass I think I would do pretty well. Even though, like, that one is obviously the oldest. I think I would probably fail at drawing a map for Twilight Princess. I genuinely don't remember where anything was in Twilight Princess, even though I actually 100%ed that game. For some reason, that game has just kind of slipped my mind. I think I played Skyward Sword right after it, and unlike most people, apparently, like, a lot of people didn't like the Skyward Sword motion controls. Like, I cannot. I loved it. It was so good. Easiest map to draw is Cadence of Hyrule. Man. For context, Cadence of Hyrule is procedurally generated. There is no map, technically. Yeah, the map is new every time you start the game. That's hilarious. No, I forgot that. Old Ice Mount. And I'll do her scar now too, actually. Like this. There. I think the easiest map to draw for me, maybe Phantom, Spirit Tracks, maybe. No, I think I would miss a lot of the details. The hardest is Twilight Princess. Maybe in like Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom? Like I have played a lot of that, but no, I think I'd still like miss a lot of the details. I think like I could draw the broad strokes of like any Zelda map probably, except for Twilight Princess, which I genuinely have forgotten. And maybe Skyward Sword too. Yeah, I don't remember where anything is in Skyward Sword because the map does not matter in Skyward Sword because you're never traveling from one area to the other. You're always like dropping from the sky into a place. Doesn't matter. I think the Oracle of Ages and Seasons map would also confuse the heck out of me though. So maybe that's the hardest. Purely because both games combined have 4 maps. Twilight Princess is easy, just draw Ocarina of Time. No, they're like different, aren't they? They're like very different, aren't they? Draw it backwards if you were on the Wii. Yeah, that's the other thing. I did play the GameCube version, but I played it on emulator. There were significant differences between Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, weren't there? You see, I would remember this if I, you know, remembered the Twilight Princess map, but I don't. Oh, the easiest for me is maybe Majora's Mask, actually, speaking of this song. I think OG Zelda needs a remaster, but not a remake. You see what I mean? Like, I don't think they should change the gameplay style for OG Zelda. Same thing for Zelda 2. Like, I think Zelda 1, Zelda 2, ALTTP, they don't need remakes. Even if they did get a remake with different graphics, I would not want them to change the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was an interesting part of the game, and it tied in very well with what they were trying to do for all 3 of those games. But when I play Ocarina of Time, which, once again, I do admit was, like, well after it was released, I was playing it and I'm like, look, this is obviously like new and cool 3D mechanics for 1998, but it's not great now when we have other games to compare it against. HD 2D remaster of Zelda 1, let's go! Yeah, I would play that. I would so totally play that. And that said, would it even be an improvement? I really liked Zelda 1, to be honest. Yeah, for folks who are listening to this and are thinking like, wow, I wonder what Lynn's thinking about all the games. First of all, hey. Second of all, even if you weren't thinking that, you should check out the overall Zelda ratings video we did here. Yeah, I went through every Zelda game very methodically, and using the scales of power, wisdom, and courage, we found out which was truly the Zelda-esque Zelda game of them all. And if you're curious to know which game reigns supreme, check out the YouTubes. Give me an expanded save function and my money is theirs. I guess you get that for free, just to play the emulator version. Did they have an era of throwing caution to the wind and making weird shit? I feel like Nintendo has always done that, like, and has continued to do that so far as well. Like, Echoes of Wisdom was them throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck, you know? And I think, unfortunately, people didn't like it that much, which is kind of sad, but they did a great job. Also, this is from Smash. This is not a Zelda theme. I mean, it is. It's technically a Zelda theme. It's from Zelda 2. But this is the Smash version. Same, I love this song. Man, I love this song so much. I think not only are Nintendo daring compared to the big 3, I think Zelda specifically is a series in which every game tries something new, and I gotta say, I freaking love that. In the 40th anniversary short video thing that I made, I tried to think of one specific new gameplay thing or new story thing that each game had done, and then I tried to represent that. Like, Zelda 1 has, like, the full HP sword mechanic, Zelda 2 introduces magic and spells for the first time, and also for the last time. ALTTP is, like, tons of new things. Like, everything that you think of as, like, mainstay Zelda was probably introduced in ALTTP. And then Ocarina, obviously, with like going backwards and forwards in time. First, like 3D graphics. Majora has its entire transformations. Oracle of Ages and Seasons are the first games that do like double games. You can connect the games and then literally go back and forth between them, revealing secrets to unlock new content. Wind Waker, first open world. Technically. And obviously the sailing and the Toon Link style, love that. Phantom Hourglass with the DS controls. Yes, I know people hated it, but it's a good game, okay, listen. And before that, Twilight Princess and Minish Cap with the cute-ass art style and the small versus big world thing and the Kinstone mechanic, which I actually really liked, and then Twilight Princess, obviously, like everyone knows. Gameplay was pretty new, I will say, and then the whole wolf transformation thing I think really got people going in the story. And then Skyward Sword with movement controls, Link Between Worlds with selling items to you so you can technically go anywhere you want. Triforce Heroes with multiplayer combat that was technically already done in Force Words Adventures, but this time you can play with randos online and only communicate with them in emotes. I actually really like Triforce Heroes, okay, listen. Triforce Heroes is the one game that you can no longer play the way it was meant to be played, and I'm sad about that. Because, like, nowadays you can technically play it by, like, getting a group of people together and, you know, starting up the game, but the whole point of Triforce Heroes is that you're playing with, like, random strangers online and you're trying to communicate the solution to a puzzle, but all you have is, like, a button that says let's go, and a button that says sword, and a button that says item. It's so funny. Why did Kinstones take up a whole button on the GBA? Why does whistling take up a whole button on the Switch when Breath of the Wild only has 4? Okay, well, I mean, it has more than 4 buttons, but you know what I mean. Tears of the Kingdom's whistle button did not need to be a whistle button. Yes, I know, technically it's supposed to summon the, like, helper people, but, like, let's be real, nobody used that shit. At least it's kind of excusable in Breath of the Wild, because, like, horses were actually supposed to be a large mechanic of Breath of the Wild, like, you're using them quite a bit. But by Tears of the Kingdom, you're not using horses anymore, like, there's machines and shit. Okay, maybe some people used horses, but not me. You give me a choice between a horse and a robot, I'm picking a robot any day. Horses versus robots, guys. Which are better? Oh, man. Hey, hi Saibei, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, folks, welcome. You didn't even use horses in Breath of the Wild. Same, yeah, like no one uses them. Legend, we can't freaking talk to each other. Silent in the same tone as Top. Oh no, what a nightmare. Yeah, I know, right? It's great because Silent is used to both communicating with people in like a team and also not being able to talk. Like he's like, yeah, I've done both of these things before. I'm okay with this. Okay, hear me out, robot horse. That does exist, yeah. There's a motorcycle in Breath of the Wild. It's shaped like a horse. It's a robot horse. Hello folks, welcome. If you haven't seen me before, hi, I'm Lynn. I play tactical RPGs, I play Zelda games, I even run a little Zelda comic in my free time, so if you like Fire Emblem, you like Zelda, you're in the right place. And even if you don't like those, stop by and hang out. We're just some fun folks around here. Oh, you never did the Breath of the Wild DLC, it's actually really fun. The first bit involves a weapon called the One-Hit Obliterator, which kills every enemy in one shot, but it puts you at 1/4 of a health and never lets you go above it, so you can get one shot and so can everybody else. Really fun, actually, I really liked it. Like, you play Breath of the Wild on sudden death mode for a little bit and see how that goes out. It was pretty cool, yeah. And then at the end of it, you get a motorcycle, I guess. Spoilers, but it's been like, I don't know, 6 years? It has been a number of years. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Mom's got a point. There is like a flying horse thing from AOL that's technically kind of like a robot horse. I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a ghost horse. Could never get through the trial thing? That's so fair, yeah. It was pretty difficult, wasn't it? I think I had an easier time of it because I'd probably like already done quite a bit of Breath of the Wild's content by that point. I think I nearly 100%ed Breath of the Wild. I did not finish all the Korok seeds, but I did finish every shrine. Oh, is it a robot horse in the artwork? Damn, okay, I'll believe that, yeah. I definitely believe that. It would be. Look, does a flying UFO / vacuum cleaner count? Because if so, Maple has one of those in Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Yeah, all Korok sees is a nightmare and I wasn't gonna do it. It doesn't even have legs. Yeah. No, but I always kind of thought it was like a magic ghost and not really a robot. Is the bit. I remember that it doesn't have legs, but I thought it was kind of like just floating. You know, it was having fun. Anyways, point being that nobody uses the horses in Breath of the Wild, and the whistle button's kind of useless. And even if you did use the horses in Breath of the Wild, you're definitely not still using them by Tears of the Kingdom, so like, you know. Did you say rare silent win? For the previous Triforce Heroes comment, right? Yeah. Sometimes things go right for the poor silent hero. Sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Loved using the horses, upgraded to gyrocopter in Tears. Yeah, fair. I made the hoverbike pretty early on. Oh, did you know, guys, I recently opened up my copy of Tears of the Kingdom again and I was just playing in it, and I accidentally unfavorited my my hoverbike and I didn't notice. And by the time I noticed, it had already gone from the menu. Alas, I had to remake one. It's not too hard, but yeah, it sucks. I haven't even completed all shrines in Tears of the Kingdom, to be honest. I would. And to be fair, I will be doing more streams of Tears of the Kingdom, eventually. Once I finish Elliot game. Elliot has been amazing so far. Once I finish Elliot, if I have like more time in the middle between Elliot and Ocarina of Time, whenever Ocarina of Time comes out, I guess we're gonna have to like take a look at that. Made all your vehicles myself? Yeah, same. Although, except for the hoverbike. I didn't know it would be that powerful. I just saw it on Reddit back when like they originally invented it. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'll make that. So I made it. Wait, did you also have a whirligig that just went up forever? So did I. Hey. Yo, great minds think alike. Yeah, I called mine the Upgoer 3000. It just went up. But it had one specific side effect, which is that it also spins you around very fast. But it's okay. Because Link can't get motion sickness because he's not real. Imagine if they programmed in motion sickness for Link. That would be absolutely terrible. I will try spinning. That's a good trick. It's definitely a reference to something, but I don't know what. Okay, bright pink. Amazing work by the Hyrule Space Program, thanks to Wild. Yeah, there's two types of construction people in the Breath of the Wild era. There's like Flora, who's like drawing like, you know, engineering diagrams and like putting effort into shit. And then there's Wild, who's like, I strapped 15 rockets to a plate. And now I'm gonna stand on it and see how far they launch me. Anakin says that in TPM, The Phantom Menace? Surprisingly enough, I haven't really watched that much Star Wars. Despite being a person who really loves sci-fi, I feel like I read sci-fi books and then I watch fantasy movies. Actually, I just don't watch movies at all. I play fantasy video games and then I read sci-fi books. And never the twain shall meet. Phantom Menace. Here's the Phantom Menace right here. Look at her. She's a menace. There's still something wrong with these eyes. I don't know what. I'll figure it out eventually. Somehow this looks better. I don't know. We'll find out eventually. Have you tried flipping the canvas yet? Oh boy. I will flip the canvas, but it's gonna look terrible. I'm gonna do it eventually, don't worry. I promise. Also, the light reflections aren't going in the same direction for everybody. Oops. I guess I'll do it this way. That's so real, yeah. I'm gonna keep it like this, and then off stream I'll flip the canvas and I'll be like, oh, there's all the errors. There they are. The Phantom Menace is the name for Phantom and Wind in Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, wait, you're so right. That's canon now. Oh, by the way, did I tell you guys I finished Hyrule Warriors? I did it! Yay! Go me! I finished the main storyline, I finished Sia's storyline, I finished Linkle's storyline, and now I have the cool- I finally get to play the good stuff. I'm finally playing Tetra's bit. Yeah! So what I did is, I've been playing it in an order that I would consider, like, I guess the most canon order of joining. But unfortunately, it doesn't really fit with what I want. So I'm kind of retconning the order of the stories, because in Definitive Edition, you can't play the Wind Waker content without having finished Sia's story and Linkle's story, and the main content. But I want the final battle... Actually, yeah, no, I want the final battle to happen, like, after some of that stuff. Enjoy the Adventures mode, too? Yeah, well, I mean, I don't... The Adventure mode feels really grindy to me, I'll admit. I went into it, so I did one unlocking map so far. I unlocked Young Link, because I consider Toon Link to be... Or, sorry, I consider Young Link, or, like, Mask, as we call him in the fandom. I consider Ocarina of Time Link to be sort of like the first member, the first DLC member to join the crew. So I unlocked him. And I actually brought him to the final map. So he was there at the end of all things. But yeah, I feel like I want characters like Ravio and Marin to have played a bigger part in the story, so I will be doing a little bit of retconning for things. Like, essentially, I think the final battle should occur with all members of the army there. But the way that the game is currently structured does not allow for that, actually. Because you essentially have to finish the entire, like, main mode to even unlock Tetra and King Daphnis. And then if I want to go in proper release order, I can only unlock Ravio and Marin after that. So yeah, in this game, we're gonna kind of assume that, like, the Wind Waker stuff was happening alongside the main battle, and then, like, maybe the Ganon battle happens last, essentially. Even the final battle doesn't make sense story-wise, like why is Midnight imp form? I guess it's like an energy conservation trick for her, I guess, maybe. But you can also unlock normal form Midna, right? Yeah, what was everyone's favorite characters to play in Hyrule Warriors if you played it? So far, I've really been enjoying Young Link, actually. I just finished the first Tetra map, so then after that, I'm gonna be going for it. Sia is dead, dying. Sheik. Tetra swings. I'm not surprised. I can like hear Tetra swings screaming Sheik in the corner. Marin and Artemis. Okay, good choices. Good choices. So far, before Young Link, I would have said Sheik. But I really like Fierce Deity. I will admit that Majora's Mask is one of my top 3 Zelda games. Yeah, it's funny because, okay, so the main storyline of Hyrule Warriors is based on, like, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, which, like, granted, they are the most popular Zelda games at the time of the making of Hyrule Warriors, but those are, like, some of my lesser favorite Zelda games personally. Like, if I had to include my bias in them, those 3 would be kind of, like, in the mid-tier, maybe near the bottom. By unlocking Young Link, I finally get to start playing things from Zelda games that I actually really like. Like Majora's Mask. And then the next DLC is like Tetra, like yes, Tetra, let's go. King Daphnis, yes. Wind Waker is one of my favorite games. Phantom Hourglass is one of my favorite games. Spirit Tracks is one of my favorite games. And then the final ones are like Marin, Link's Awakening, yes. Link Between Worlds, Ravio, yes. It's genuinely funny to me that essentially the DLC guys are my favorite guys and the main story guys are like, ugh. Okay, this is true, but I don't like that. Tingle is also from Majora's Mask. Frick! Pop his balloon. Sad but true, yeah. Yeah, we, all my homies hate Tingle. You think they're gonna do a Majora's Mask remake? So here's the thing. I think if the Ocarina remake sells well, then they have a chance. But I also really don't think Majora's Mask needs a remake. Don't get me wrong, I think it could, yet again, I think it could use a remake like ALTTP. But unlike Ocarina, Majora's Mask does stand the test of time. It is a good game with good gameplay. The lion does not concern himself with how much magic meter time has left first. Wait, what do you mean? He doesn't last very long. Are you somehow getting like a super long-lasting Fierce Deity or something? I feel like you get Fierce Deity for like 4 seconds and that's it. Yeah, there was a 3D version, this is true. I think the 3DS remakes are kind of like good. Like that's all they really needed. That's all Majora's Mask really needed. It fixes most of the problems that the original had. It does add some downgrades, I will admit. But I mean, what can we do about that? Alright. Yeah, tell me a secret for Fierce Deity. I'm not gonna be playing too much more of this, to be honest, because that's why I'm kind of sad. Like, okay, how many maps are left? Hold on, you can spoil me this. You can still turn special into magic while in Fierce Deity, okay? Does that, like, change anything? So you just, like, stop and play the Ocarina? I guess I feel like I don't build up my special meter fast enough to make that actually worth my while. I should probably, like, I don't know, play better. I'm not good at the Hyrule Warriors game. Actually, you know what? No, I'm good at them. I am, like, getting, like, top ranks in all of them. It's just not a thing that I really enjoy doing, I will admit. Yeah, okay, for the people who have played this game, how many maps are in the Wind Waker portion, and is there any more story after the Wind Waker portion? In the definitive edition of the Switch? Because, like, I want to know how much time I have to unlock Ravio and Marin and then actually use them in a map with story. The answer is probably no time at all, huh? Oh, special builds ridiculously fast because it's just fighting people? Okay, yeah, Wind Waker story is the last story, right? How many maps are there total in the Wind Waker story, I guess? Probably like 4 or 5, right? Like, not many, I would assume. It's like 4 maps? Okay, yeah, that's terrible. Goddamn. Maybe I should just unlock Ravio and Marin. Yeah, I don't like the way the game is structured here. I guess it's necessary, at least for the Thea portion. And I guess maybe Linkle's gonna be involved somewhere in the future. Okay, I guess I'll wait until I play it. It's probably necessary. I bet there's some reason why the story's only unlockable after the end of everything else. I know Thea is important in the Wind Waker storyline somehow. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait until I play it. But yeah, I don't like that because then, like, how am I supposed to... Thea. The villain in Hyrule Warriors is called CIA. And she's like, a really busty sorceress who lusts after Link. I'm not making that up. Not the singer. Not the singer, the sexy sorceress lady. The meter doesn't drain when time is doing some stuff like playing the Ocarina and focus attack. I don't even know what focus attack is. What is a focus attack? What's a focus attack? What does that mean? Is that the green bar? There's also like a yellow... This is the yellow bar. Is that the yellow bar? I know the green bar is the magic bar, because that's like a Zelda mainstay. The yellow bar is the Hyrule Warriors thing, so I'm unaware of what it is. I use it, of course, don't get me wrong. We've been calling that our special. And by we, I mean me and the friend that I have roped into playing Hyrule Warriors with me. The white bar that shows up on the enemies. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah, okay. Oh, the yellow bar is actually the special? Damn, I thought we made that up. Shows you how much I know about the proper terminology. Okay, so focus attack is like the shield break. I see. I've been calling that shield break. Why is it a focus attack? It's when you're literally breaking the enemy's shield. I guess you're like focused. That's pretty fair. Understandable. Yeah, all in all, the game has been good fun. I think what I need to do maybe then, I might need to unlock Ravio and Marin earlier. No, I can't do that. That means I'm gonna have to like, did you upgrade the FD badges on time? Mob, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Oh, is that like the defense menu and you like buy things? Yeah. What does on time? Oh, you mean like just like on like mask, like on the character. The Fierce Deity mask badge. Yeah, maybe. I don't think I've gotten all the way to the end of them. Look, I don't grind, which means I like go through all the levels as fast as possible. And also we have like a super over-leveled Link on our side and we bring him to every map. So we usually just finish things without like collecting any resources. Very, very minimal resources. I have some of them. I've seen that badge. I've seen the Fierce Deity badge for sure. Which means I've done it at least once. No wonder poor Link thinks he's invincible. Yeah, no, it fits the story really well. Like, I knew the plot going on beforehand. But yeah, my friend Marth, who's been playing Hyrule Warriors with me, so like, I started playing the game with him. And he's like, yo, Link was pretty fun. Like, I kind of like playing Link. I'm like, okay, you can just keep playing Link. So like any map that requires Link, he plays Link and I play a different character. And like any other map, like even the Ganon maps or like the Sia maps, he's just playing Link. I'd like to see the look on Artemis's face when Sia shows up and like Link is just at her side. Like, hey, it's not even Dark Link, that's just Link. Link is like, yo. I'm dating Sia today. You haven't had the full Mask experience until you get both Fierce Deity badges on him. Okay, so I'm assuming that this puts Mask into like overusing Fierce Deity mode. This is good, and I will be using that in stories. My Hyrule Warriors evil polycule. Does Lana get invited to that, or is she too good? Topical conversation, I'm drawing Artemis now. Would say yes. Alright, Lana's invited. Oh yeah, each First AD badge is an extra special. Oh, so that's what it is. Okay, so what you meant is, have you gotten the second special bar on Mask? And the answer is no, I haven't, no. Whatever resource I need for that, I don't have. And, like, it's not like I've been looking at them, so... That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, I've been playing Hyrule Warriors in a really funny way, which is to say I'm just avoiding every character I don't like. So, like... So pretty much, like, anyone from, like, the Ocarina of Time cast, like, Ruto or, like, Darunia, I just never played as them. I really like Fi, so I did play as Fi. A little bit at the beginning. And then after that, I had a lot of fun with Sheik. I swapped between Artemis and Sheik for a while. Have you messed with the adventure mode map stuff yet? Only one. I did the base one just because I wanted to unlock Young Link. And I did. I'm not gonna... So here's the problem. I really want to unlock them in the canonical order of release. Which means that I need to unlock... So the only characters that matter for this specific order of mine is Young Link, and then the Wind Waker crew, which is Tetra, and Tetra, King Daphnis, and then technically Toon Link and Medley, because Toon Link was actually released with the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks pack, which came after Marin. But since Toon Link is actually the Phantom Hourglass Link, in my opinion, even though he does have the Spirit Sword at some point, I'm considering him the Link from Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass and not the Link from Spirit Tracks. So because I've only done that specific, or because I'm only going to be doing that specific one after the Wind Waker maps, or at least after I unlock Tetra, that means I have to unlock Ravio and Marin after those guys as well, because they should show up about together. And they should be the last people to join the army in general, because I think Ravio was the last DLC. Which means that I'm not gonna have any like actual maps to play with Ravio. So I'm gonna kind of like, I'm sort of retconning Hyrule Warriors' story in my head a little bit, because I want Ravio and Marin to have fought in the actual war. Same thing with like Wind and Tetra and King Daphnis and Medley. Like, I think they should have a chance to fight in the actual war. So I'd like to think that the Wind Waker stuff kind of like happens part of it in parallel with everything else, and then they all get recruited, and then maybe the other stuff with like Sia and all is like happening afterwards. And then I'm not sure how Linkle plays in yet, but I may have to like kind of modify the story a little bit around that. But yeah, just to kind of clarify that, I do consider all of Hyrule Warriors' characters to have been present for like the final battle. Because I think it would be sad to have all the DLC characters just miss out and like only show around for like endgame skirmishes. Like, that wouldn't count as participating in a war. Like, it wouldn't be climactically cool in a story way. Like, obviously I see why that has to happen because the DLC was released after the game finished, but yeah, I mean, for the sake of a coherent story and like a cool emotional moment for myself, or like for the characters that I'm writing myself, I consider them to have been there for the final battle. I think everyone deserves to be there for the final battle. Except for maybe Linkle. I'm kind of toying with that. Like, right now, I think in the Wisdomverse version of the Hyrule Warriors final battle, everyone is probably present. Not everyone is fighting on the map, but everyone has been recruited by that point. I think Linkle has still not yet made her way to the... I need to find out. I haven't yet played the last 4 maps, the Wind Waker maps. Once I do that, I'll have like a full picture of what I want to include in the story. But yeah, so far, I feel like it's really funny for me to think that Linkle also missed the final battle. Yeah, rarely you're completely correct. So Linkle does canonically miss the final battle, but so does like the entire Wind Waker cast, the entire like Link's Awakening, Link Between Worlds cast. Even like Young Link technically doesn't show up at the final battle, and I don't like that, so I'm kind of retconning the story such that they could have been there. Because they are recruitable over the adventure maps, so they can have been there, but you know. Yeah, Linkle though specifically is not supposed to be there at the final battle, because she canonically was lost. I think that's really funny. It's pretty sick. Yeah, her like magic compass is her main item, and I guess it's just, it doesn't work as a compass really. It does do something, doesn't it? It does something. What does it do? It like magically makes Midna uncursed or something? Maybe? It frees something, maybe? I forgot. The compass does what the plot demands it does, I guess. Linkle's just wandering around and gathering her farmer lesbian harem. Wait, no, explain more. Hold on. I need to know what this is. Oh, the Midna thing was a dark crystal. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Wasn't Agatha's butterfly involved? Are you recording any of your Hyrule Warriors sessions? I think I prefer your narration over Koei Tecmo's. You know what, Mars? Here's the problem. I played the game just now. It's clearly the latest Zelda game I've played, but like, I'm already forgetting the story. This is bad. You know what I'll do? After I finish all of Hyrule Warriors, I'm genuinely gonna sit down and like, we'll do a stream where I just rewatch all the cutscenes of Hyrule Warriors, and I go like, oh, that was what was happening there. I killed that guy so fast I didn't get to figure out what was happening. I might do that. I might actually do that. We did for context for the people on the stream, we did a watch party for Age of Imprisonment. Story-only stream. Yeah, I've done this before, actually. I watched Age of Imprisonment's entire storyline online because I knew I wasn't going to play the game. And it was great, actually. Like, I really enjoy commenting on these games purely because I know every other Zelda game, and I'm not a fan of the Hyrule Warriors format, so playing through the game is, like, very difficult for me. Not difficult in terms of, like, difficulty. Like, I'm definitely having an easy time with the game. It's just a little boring to me. No, it's good. Forget the bad parts and focus on the true canon that is your mind. I mean, I guess that's what all Zelda fans do all the time. We just forget the bad stuff. And in a good way, actually. I do think the beauty of fandom is that you get to, especially in such a controversial, like, convoluted fandom like Zelda, you get to kind of, like, pick things in the legend that you think are true, and then, you know, keep the ones you like, retcon the other ones to make them fit with the larger overall story, so yeah. Yeah, no, I started playing Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, and I really liked it. Getting into the harder adventure mode maps is rough. No, I will admit, I'm not really... Okay, I guess I haven't done those yet. Maybe I will struggle. I'm not really having difficulty with finishing the maps. I think because I'm playing on 2-player mode. Everything is a lot easier on 2-player mode, I feel like. But because I'm playing on 2-player mode, it's a little bit more interesting, and I think I just kind of lose interest with like the sort of hack and slash combat style of Hyrule Warriors. I really do prefer like a more tactical gameplay style. You'll notice that like tactical RPGs are my main bread and butter of the entire gameplay style that I choose. So yeah, it's something that I personally just don't like as much, but I wanted to experience Artemis's home game. So I gave it a shot, and playing it with my friend has made it a lot more bearable, I will admit. The game is good. The game is good. It's a great game. Hyrule Warriors games in general are just not my style. Also, some of the story moments, I will admit, have slipped my mind. Maybe I'll go rewatch them all, like, for the 3rd time now. Then I'll finally remember them. Okay, Mom says there was a dark crystal that Midna destroys after the fight with Dark Midna to help undo the Twilight Curse of its going. Okay, gotcha, that makes sense. She meets Midna, Zelda, Impa 5. Who are you referring to specifically? I remember the beginning story bits, right? Like, they split into 3 groups. And like Impa and Sheik, who is totally not Zelda, go to fight the fake Zelda, and then Zelda goes like, haha. You can't be Zelda because I'm Zelda. And then meanwhile, Link goes to Skyward Sword Land. And like, Fi is like the only one who can carry the pumpkin soup to help Levias show up. Yeah, I remember that bit. Oh yeah, and then Lana goes to Ocarina of Time Land, which I will admit was really funny to me because I specifically don't care about Ruto or Darunia, and I also don't really care too much about Lana. Like, Lana's great, don't get me wrong, but like, as someone who had just started playing Hyrule Warriors for the first time, I had no connection to any of these characters. So like, I'm playing like Link and Fi, and I'm like, yeah, Link, Fi. And then I'm playing Impa and like Sheik and stuff, and I'm like, this is kind of an interesting take on Sheik. And then I immediately switched to like Lana, Ruto, and Darunia, and I'm like, oh, this is a combination I do not need. Wait, Sheik and Impa go to Ocarina of Time? Bruh, I got even that wrong. Never mind, I take it back. Then I was... Okay, yeah, then I was the same way, but with Agatha and Midna. I remember specifically Lana going to a world, and it was not Fi's world because I like Fi. I never really cared for Agatha, I never really cared for Midna. So I was like, okay, great. Now I have to deal with like... now I have to deal with like Lena and Midna and stuff. Okay, Midna's alright actually. I take that back. Midna's great, but like Agatha does not need to be here. Why did they pick Agatha? Of all people. Like, they could have, like, given Ilya a horse or something, and I probably would have liked that more. Agatha was a choice. And you start with her, too. So the first bit of the map... I remember this now. Okay, the first bit of the map is, like, Lana shows up, and then... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because yet again, I could be incorrect. But like, I think you show up and then Agatha's there and like her magic butterfly is doing something and Lana's like, wow, magic butterfly. You like Agatha? Okay, yeah, fair. I mean, look, you can like characters. I will admit, like, you know, I'm gonna have some opinions that other people do not have, but like, Agatha. Also, I will admit, also compounded by the fact that when I played Twilight Princess, I did collect every single golden bug. And I did all that without a guide. So yeah, that took a while. They need the magic butterfly to track Sia. Okay, that's what they were doing. Gotcha. Yeah. I really need to rewatch all the cutscenes of this game. I swear I played it. I just... for some reason... Yeah, it was really funny for me, specifically because of the 2-player mode, and then also because, so, as I said, the friend I was playing with was playing like a really over-leveled, super hyper-powered Link. To the point where, like, there's a bit in the story where, like, someone goes like, oh, Link, watch out, you're kind of like getting too overconfident. And I look at my friend and I'm like, hey, you're getting too overconfident. And he goes, nah, I've got this. The way they split the elements was interesting, like Sheik is lightning aspected with the harp. Yeah, I think that makes sense actually. They kind of focused in on the Song of Storms there. So like storms, lightning, the harp playing, etc. Obviously like not the same Sheik as the Sheik from Ocarina of Time, so I could see this take on it. I really did like it actually. Also interesting because I believe Hyrule Warriors Zelda, who we call Artemis as like a short form, she, I believe, also unlocks the Wind Waker, which is another storm-focused type thing. So I'd like to think that, like, in general, lightning seems to be like an element that she has quite a bit. True that Sheik does have every element. This is also true. Yeah, my friend literally got overconfident. No, we did lose eventually. We lost, but not because we were weak. We lost, like, we actually lost multiple times now. For various reasons, most of which is because somebody dies and then none of us can find them on the map. Oh, that's another reason I didn't like Agatha. Agatha kept freaking dying. We were playing one of the Midna maps. You have to fight Zant, and there's Midna is there, and it's in the Twilight Realm. And then... Yeah, and then, like, that one was so difficult for some reason. I don't know why. And mostly because Agatha kept dying. And we would keep going like, okay, she's fine now, and then we'd leave, and then she would get killed again. And I was like, no, come back here. Why is she on the battlefield? Can she leave? Like, there's always the bit where it's like, Agatha calls for help, and I'm like, can you tell me where you are? Can you send a magic butterfly? Agatha saved you on that map? Goddamn. Not the case for me. Babysitting the hero characters is the hardest part of the game sometimes. Yeah, fair, I guess. So I played the first Tetra map, like, yesterday, actually. And in that map, there wasn't even a warning. Tetra just died. Like, at least with Agatha, it's like, Agatha's in critical danger. Agatha needs your help, or whatever. In this one, there was no such thing. Tetra just often died, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's kind of fair, because Tetra would at that point. At that specific point in her story, which in Wisdomverse is about halfway through Wind Waker, is when she gets summoned to Hyrule Warriors. She totally would not have called for help. Yeah, that's true. It shows on the minimap where they are. Ah, you see, both me and my friend Marth have difficulty seeing the tiny minimap, and then even when you like plus and like see the giant one, I still have no idea. Yeah, I've been playing Hyrule Warriors in a very jank way. Like every other Zelda game I've played, by the way, I'll have you all know. Every other Zelda game I've played, I've like done a good job learning all the mechanics, understanding everything. Of course, you know me, I'm a strategist, I do this stuff. I'll like near 100% every game I played, but Hyrule Warriors specifically. Agatha is fine, but something about her bugs me. That's a good one, that's funny. Oh, it's definitely not Agatha's fault. Yeah, no, I just specifically... I like to think that these are things that the characters are doing in-universe. Like, any problems that I specifically have, I just find them funny. So I like to map them onto the characters. Like, if I do a challenge run, then I, like, map it onto the characters, you know what I mean? Hardest part of the game are missions where you can't lose any bases ever. I haven't even gotten to that yet. When does that happen? When does that... Does anyone have any tips for me with the adventure maps? Give me tips. I just want to unlock all the characters as fast as possible. And by all the characters, I actually specifically only mean the cast of Wind Waker, Ravio, and Marin. That's it. I'm leaving Tingle locked. I'm not even gonna unlock Tingle. Frick him. Not worth. I've done the Young Link unlock because it was like within 2 squares. Also, okay, I will say it was really cool that they have the first adventure mode map be the map of Zelda 1. I did just play Zelda 1, so I was looking at it, I was like, whoa, I drew this map. Very awesome. Loved it. Heading out, Joe Generics, no worries. See you later. Shout out to that one Hyrule soldier who doesn't fold like a wet paper towel. Which Hyrule soldier? That guy clearly isn't in my army. Oh yeah, no, they're very definitely rushing the characters and weapons. Actually, I'm not even rushing the weapons. Where are those? I forgot about those. Thanks for reminding me. Play your best characters for guaranteed A ranks. Oh, do you need to do that? Oh yeah, you need to have an A rank to get the character right. That makes sense. Level up the characters you want to play as high as you can and then rush their upgraded weapons. Upgraded weapons. Where is that? Master Quest or Twilight maps where you put in practically impossible missions. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing those. I have an overleveled Link, and that's it, actually. I can spend all my rupees on stuff, I guess. Haven't been spending my rupees on anything. I'll probably do that. I forgot about the weapons, actually. I did forget entirely about the weapons. I forgot about the ball and chain. I can't play the Wind Waker map yet, because I need, yeah, I need more story maps to play, I guess. I wish this stuff, I guess it is accessible. I could go unlock them, but I wanted to unlock Tetra and Daphnis as part of the story, and I feel like Wind should be unlocked at about the same time, so it doesn't make sense. You need to get the ball and chain. It actually wouldn't matter, because my friend only plays Master Sword. Its special is hilarious. Is it the dragging down the moon bit? So far, the Fierce Deity has already dragged down the moon. I thought it was great. Not on every map, but map unlocks sometimes require rank, so getting A ranks is for safety. Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Oh, the moon is Great Fairy. Oh. Wait, no, I did a Fierce Deity attack and it pulled down the moon. Yeah, and Fierce Deity. Okay, that makes sense. Only Link, only Master Sword, going for the traditional run. Yeah, pretty much, actually. My friend Martha's been playing Link Master Sword for the entire game, so we have like a just insanely overleveled Link, and then I've been playing whatever character is necessary for the plotline. So like, you know, I have a few levels on Sia, a few levels on Ganon, a few levels on Fi, a few levels on... who else is even there? Oh, obviously Artemis and Sheik, and then now Young Link. Yes, this is the Four Swords Adventures rendition of ALTTP's intro, technically. It's like just the plain theme from FSA. Damn, good eye. Or good ear, I guess in this case. Oh, Skull Kid. Yeah, of course Skull Kid has a moon. I actually forgot Skull Kid is in this one. Yeah, I'm not going to be unlocking him, I think. I have no interest in playing the villains, essentially. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that in Hyrule Warriors, but meh. It's possible that Skull Kid has it. I genuinely haven't unlocked Skull Kid and probably won't be. Yeah, Mob can probably confirm. I think Mob played Hyrule Warriors more recently. Okay, green. Great Fairy stole his bit. First stole it and then used it for aura farming. Actually, yeah, good question. Why does the Great Fairy get the moon? Doesn't make any sense. I think my favorite character... Okay, well I guess like my favorite character that's in the game is Ravio. Which is why it's kind of sad that he has to be the last person I unlock, which means I will get to play him the least. Great Fairy gets Levias? The Great Fairy just summons Levias? I can believe that, I guess. You know what? Fair. Great Fairy deserves this. Understandable. Have a nice day. Great Fairy gets the moon because Skull Kid... Oh, Great Fairy was in the base game? I didn't know that either. Huh. That's cool. Is a fun character. You can... Sure. I mean, you're probably right. Don't get me wrong. Isn't Great Fairy and, like, the Kuko are, like, kind of, like, joke characters or something? Like, they're really powerful, but they're, like, kind of one trick or something like that? I don't know. That's what I was told. She's so hard to use because she's so much bigger than everyone. How do you unlock them? I'm not gonna do it, but I'm curious. Most of her combos are references to... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I see. Except for the moon, I guess. Because there's no Majora's Mask bit in the main game. Great Fairy's Adventure Mode. Giant Kuko is an extra time attack. I don't even know what that means. But that sounds cool. She uses the moon when you fight Argarok. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember that. Oh, wait, hold on. Does she use the moon? Okay, I remember the moon happening. I thought we, like, did some hookshotting over there, too. Yeah, no, my memories are faint. I swear I played this game. It's also funny because the moon is your special, so you can throw the moon, like, thrice. Huh. Huh. Good to know. Yeah, Time is definitely not liking that shit. Time out here like, dude, what are you doing? Her Warriors does feel like a fever dream sometimes. Yeah! I mean, in a good way, to be honest. It's like controlling a mobile battleship. She's overpowered, but she can't avoid pot shots. Ah, fair. Okay, yeah, fair. And this is why the Great Fairies don't usually fight people. You know what I would have actually played? If they brought in the Wind Waker Great Fairy? Like the Queen Fairy from Wind Waker? Anyone remember that? Kind of like a tiny child. A little bit like Fi, to be honest. Time. Dude, what are you doing? Wars in the bottle, paying my debt to the Fae. Oh yeah, when does he get trapped in the bottle? That hasn't happened to me yet. Is that supposed to happen at some point, or have I just not been doing the right things? Yeah, in Wind Waker, the Great Fairy, or like the leader of the Great Fairies, is this little girl who like takes a giant Great Fairy and then like has like a little doll that looks like it, and then she like crushes the doll between her hands, and then she gives you ice and fire arrows, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's one of Fi's unlockable palette swaps. Is it actually? Goddamn. Nice. Oh yeah, how do you unlock the palette swaps? Is that also in the adventure mode? Everything's in adventure mode, isn't it? Man. Oh, Great Fairy is a weapon for Link. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Fair. I want to say the like adult Great Fairies have 4 arms, but I feel like the normal Great Fairy Queen Lady person only has 2, maybe? She's like a little kid and she has 2 arms, and then the normal Great Fairies have 4 arms and she like crushes a doll of them. Maybe. Adventure mode is the grind mode. Yes, this is why I kind of despise it, I will admit. Fortunately, from what I've seen, all the characters that I want to unlock are really close to the beginning of the map, so I don't think I'll have to go too far to unlock any of them. Hopefully. Hopefully. Which is why I may not be getting very many palette swaps. Not that much, you say. Maybe I'll enjoy it more as I play it. To be fair, I've only played 2 adventure maps so far. Like, adventure map squares so far, literally. I only unlocked Young Link and then immediately left. Also, Sun looks weird like this. I don't think Sun deserves, this. At least you don't have to repeat the maps that much. You have to repeat them? Oh no. Yeah, this looks better, I think. Okay, I think we're missing... Heading out, Marionette. No worries. Thanks for stopping by. As always, much appreciated. Depends on the challenge. Don't get hit maps. That's terrible. Only if you want gold Skulltulas. I swear we've missed every single gold Skulltula. I think we got 1 on accident. My friend Martha's like, hey, I killed a bug. I was like, oh, neat. Genuinely haven't seen a single one of them. Yeah, I'm very much not a grinding person, I will admit. I really, really like story-based content, and then anything that doesn't have story content, I kind of immediately go, no! I did do all 120 shrines in Breath of the Wild, but I really like the combat system of Breath of the Wild, so I think that made it a lot better, and I really enjoy puzzles. I'm like a huge fan of puzzles. So, since the shrines are mostly puzzles, I really liked most of them. Kill 1,000 enemies. Yeah, that one we can do. That one we've got. Easy. And then there's a secret one that has what? There's conditions for each map? This is getting real complex. Okay. I'm deciding whether Fable should have such prominent... maybe a little less. Okay, that looks more like Fable. I think the fact that Dawn doesn't have her eyes open might genuinely be kind of odd here. But, yeah, it fits her. Like, she would kind of do like a yay. Maybe something like this? Okay. Yeah. Something like this, I think, maybe. And then we'll see how that works out, probably. The puzzle shrines were great. The combat shrines weren't puzzles and made you sad. I think I kind of liked the combat ones to some degree at the beginning. And then after a while, I was like, meh, alright, whatever. I think the puzzle shrines in Breath of the Wild were better than the puzzle shrines in Tears, but the combat shrines in Tears are better than the ones in Breath of the Wild. I really enjoy the Eventide shrines. Yeah, I know that technically Age of Imprisonment has sort of half retconned this by having this like a line where like Rauru and Sonia are like, yes, here we are, creating one of the shrines to seal the evil away under the ground. Which is really funny to me because that indicates that both Rauru and Sonia saw this entire giant robot uprising and then they went like, that's a problem for another era and not for me, and they basically just sealed them away in like giant rocks. And then what Link is doing is he's just going through those giant rocks, opening them, killing all the monsters within, and leaving. But then because, like, the Blood Moon does bring everything back, they're still there. Like, they're not being killed. But yeah, I like to think that the puzzle shrines specifically were designed by, like, Zelda, by Flora. And so I do like the thought that Flora and Minoru were, like, thinking. They were like, hey. So, like, Flora's thinking to herself. She's like, okay, listen. So Minoru, one time, me and Link went to this island. And when we landed on the island, Link immediately covered his eyes. And I asked him why, and he said that the first time he went there, all his clothes had been removed, and he was just making sure that, you know, my clothes weren't removed. And I thought that was a bit of a prank to play on me, so I'm gonna make some shrines where his clothes get removed. And Minoru went like, okay. We'll do that. You mean take away his equipment and make him fight from the start? Sure, sounds good to me. She's just getting her revenge, don't mind her. Sure, these evil sealed shrines that WoW just opened won't send a bunch of evil monsters out and cause a second great calamity. No, he didn't, to be fair, he didn't break the seals, I think. He does specifically go... So actually you can see that I think Rauru and Sonia, when they steal the original shrines, I revised my opinion on what was happening since I watched the Age of Imprisonment cutscenes. I think what they're doing is, this is like remnants of the robot invasion that presumably wiped out the Zonai. Very similar to the whole like Age of Magic thing. He goes around stealing their power source. Okay, to be fair, he goes around and like accepts the blessing of Rauru and Sonia, but maybe this keeps it does clearly keep the shrine seal intact because the like robots don't escape. But it would be funny if they did. Like, funny headcanon that they did, but I think canon does support them being sealed, at least. Yeah, it's the shades that possess people. Yeah, I know. But I think the shades that possess people are the things that are, like, corrupting the robots that used to be good, maybe. I think this is, like, a sort of Age of Magic type situation. Like, I think it's very Elliot-coded here. I think Age of Imprisonment is implying, because remember how, like, Rauru says all this stuff? He's like, oh, the robots are dangerous. Like, Flora, don't touch the Night Construct because constructs are bad. And then Flora's like, yo, dude, that construct is so cool. And she's like reaching out and like about to touch its heart. The green smoke even stops getting out of the thing. Yeah, well, that's true, but it could be a sign of something else. It could be a sign that you've just completed the shrine. You've like taken the evil source out or whatever. It could be anything. We can interpret it in like 15 different ways. I'm good with any interpretation, to be honest. Yeah, the shades that possess people fit. I think the shades are the ones possessing the robots, essentially. And, like, if you go in and kill them the first time, then maybe you're killing the shades for good. And Rauru was presumably not able to do that, because he didn't have... I don't know. He's just not good enough. Skill issue. Lynn, I wish Nintendo cared about the Tears of the Kingdom shrines half as much as you do. Hashtag join the Wisdomverse. Hey. Anyways, it's getting pretty late and I've gotta head out. Thank you all for stopping by, folks. Much appreciated. If you'd like to see more Zelda content, check out my Instagram at Lindaross. Same thing as the Twitch username. I got that username on all my sites, including Tumblr as well, if you want to see some lore analyses and the same comics. I'm on there as well. You could find a link to that if you type in like !comics or something like that here. And then yeah, last but not least, if you'd like to see me play some more Zelda games and Zelda likes, stop by on Wednesday. I'm playing The Adventures of Elliot Millennium Tales, which is Square Enix's job at making a Zelda-like. It's been really good so far. So if you want to see some Zelda-style combat in a different format, check that out. I'm gonna, let's see, head out now. Let's go give somebody a raid. Who are we raiding today? Yeah, and if you join the Discord and check that out, you will find out when I stream and what I stream, which is usually pretty much following the schedule that's on Twitch, but sometimes with a little here and there change. Okay, nobody I know is streaming at the moment. Anyone have any suggestions for people to raid? Let me know. Thanks, folks. Have a good stream. Otherwise, we may just not raid anyone. Okay, let's see if I can find somebody playing a game. Is anyone playing Cheers Game anymore? Yes. I'm sure someone's playing Cheers Game. Tear of the King. Yeah, looks like somebody's doing their first playthrough. Let's raid Omijari. There we go. Oh, mind if I make a raid suggestion? Yeah, sure. Please do. If not, we're gonna raid Omijari. Omijari. Acid and Aid. Sure. Let's give them a raid. Acid and Aid. Then. Say hello to Acid for me, folks. And I'll see you all later. No worries. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. What day is it today? Is it Monday? Goddamn. I mean, I know it is, but... Oh, man. Bye. Tell him his best friend. Yeah. Will do.